To it. Today we're taking a deep dive into Belize.
And we've got a great mix of videos to explore everything from travel vlogs to history buffs to even real estate tours.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing how much is packed into this small country.
Yeah.
I mean, Belize, it's way more than just beaches and snorkeling.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a hidden gem of history and culture. And what's really interesting is how the past is so present in Belize. Like, it's not just something in a museum, it's woven into everything.
Totally. The languages they speak, the food, even the way people greet each other, it's all connected to this rich history.
Right. And speaking of languages, one video even jokes, don't visit Belize if you don't want to hear Creole.
Huh. Well, we'll definitely have to learn more about Creole. But first, I'm kind of obsessed with this whole Maya civilization thing. Like,
Mm.
we're not just talking a few temples here.
No, not at all.
I mean, some of these Maya sites have five-star ratings.
And those ratings are well deserved. Take Caracol, for example. Yeah, it's the largest Maya site in Belize. And it wasn't just big, it was powerful, a real powerhouse, actually.
Okay, so just how big are we talking?
We're talking 30 acres. Imagine that.
Wow, 30 acres.
And it was a major center of Maya civilization, controlling trade routes and influencing politics across the entire region.
Right.
So much more than just a bunch of old stones, you know?
Yeah, that puts it into perspective. It makes it come alive a bit more. And the architecture, too. There's this site, Sunantunich, that's described as having timeless allure.
Sunantunich. It's stunning, isn't it? And it's not just beautiful, it's also astronomically significant. The buildings are aligned with certain celestial events, like the solstices, for example.
Right.
Yeah. It's like they built the city to be in harmony with the universe.
Wow, I'm getting chills just thinking about that. Right, but there's this other Maya site that's kind of freaking me out. The Actun Tunikil Muknal, or ATM Cave. It's like you have to swim to get to the skeletons.
Yeah, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. See, for the Maya, caves were entrances to the underworld.
To Valba, right?
Exactly. And they believed it was both sacred and dangerous. So they performed rituals in these caves, and they left offerings, which unfortunately sometimes included human sacrifices.
And this crystal maiden, that's one of the most famous finds in the ATM cave, right? A skeleton completely covered in calcite crystals.
Right. It's both eerie and beautiful, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And it just goes to show how deeply spiritual the Maya were. Like, they weren't just building cities. They were trying to connect with the divine.
Right. Even in the depths of the earth.
Okay, so we've got powerful Maya rulers, cosmic architecture, and ritual sacrifices. What happens next in this whirlwind of Belizean history?
Well, fast forward a few centuries, and you have a new set of players arriving on the scene, the British.
The British.
Yeah, Belize becomes a British colony, which is actually pretty unique in Central America, being surrounded by all these Spanish-speaking countries.
You know, one of the videos mentioned that tourists are often surprised to find out that English is the official language of Belize.
I bet.
It must be so unexpected.
It definitely makes Belize stand out. But as we'll see, the linguistic landscape is actually much more diverse than just English.
Speaking of diversity, can we talk about the Garifuna people? This mix of African and indigenous heritage? It's not something you see every day.
It's really remarkable. They have an incredible story, too. Exiled from their homeland in the Caribbean, they eventually find refuge in Belize.
And they brought their own language, their own music, their own traditions, like adding another layer to this already incredible cultural mix.
And despite all that upheaval, they managed to hold on to their culture. It's really a testament to their resilience, I think.
Absolutely. And I mean, Garifuna Settlement Day on November 19th sounds amazing. Especially this Jonkunu dance.
Oh, yeah.
Men in white masks covered in shell dancing to these hypnotic drums.
It's a powerful expression of Garifuna identity.
Okay, I'm adding that to my must-see list. But before we move on, I think we need to talk about the language everyone's teasing us about. This Creole, what exactly is it?
Well, Creole is actually the most spoken language in Belize, even more than English. And it's a fascinating example of how languages evolve. See, it developed from this blend of English, West African languages, and indigenous languages. So it's this unique linguistic tapestry, you could say.
So it's not just slang or broken English, as some people might think.
No, not at all. Creole has its own grammar and vocabulary. It's a reflection of the history and the cultural fusion that makes Belize what it is.
That's so cool. I've already picked up a couple of phrases like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm definitely going to try that one out. Anything else we should know?
Well, one thing that makes Creole unique is how it changes sounds to a. So water becomes wata, for example.
Wata. I love it. And with all this talk about history and culture, I'm suddenly feeling very thirsty for some wata, of course.
Mm.
But before we move on, any other Creole gems we should learn?
Hmm. Well, if you plan on enjoying the local rum, you might need to know the word for hangover. That's buma in Creole.
Homa. Perfect. Now we're really ready for a deep dive into Belizean life.
Okay, ready to dive into some of the natural wonders that make Belize so special.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the videos make it clear. Belize, it's a nature lover's dream. And we're not just talking lush jungles here, although those are amazing.
Now, we've got to talk about the Belize Barrier Reef, the second largest barrier reef in the world.
It's huge. What makes it so special, though?
Well, for one, it's incredibly diverse, like hundreds of species of coral, fish, all kinds of marine life. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site for a reason. Divers and snorkelers come from all over to see it, experience this vibrant underwater world.
I can just picture it. Crystal clear waters, colorful coral reefs, schools of fish in every color imaginable.
It's pretty magical. And
Mm.
within this vast reef system, there's this one natural wonder that just stands out, the Great Blue Hole.
The blue hole, that's that giant sinkhole in the middle of the ocean, right? I've seen pictures, and it's almost too perfect to be real. Like, how does something like that even form?
It's a remarkable geological formation, over 300 feet deep, and it attracts divers who want to explore, its depths. And inside, you find these intricate stalactite formations, remnants from a time when this was actually a dry cave system thousands of years ago.
Wow, that is mind-blowing. So it's like a window into the past, hidden beneath the waves.
Exactly.
Okay, but speaking of caves, we can't forget those incredible Maya caves we were talking about earlier. The ATM cave, that was just one example, right?
Right. There's a whole network of these caves underneath Belize. And they're not just geological wonders, remember. They played a big part in Maya spirituality.
Yeah, the Maya believed that these caves were portals to Jabalba, the underworld.
Right. A realm that was both sacred and dangerous. And exploring them, it's like stepping into another world, a world of shadows and whispers, where ancient rituals were performed and offerings made to the gods.
Okay, it's like something out of an Indiana Jones movie. Ancient mysteries hidden deep beneath the earth. I'm adding cave exploration to my Belize itinerary. But I also want to get a sense of like the modern side of Belize. What's life like for Belizeans today?
Well, one thing that's immediately apparent is the diversity of the culture. I mean, it's a real melting pot of ethnicities and traditions. You've got the Garifuna people, the Maya descendants, Creoles, mestizos, and influences from all over the world. And this mix, it's reflected in everything from the food to the music.
The food, oh my goodness, the food. The videos I've seen, Belizean cuisine looks incredible. It's like Caribbean, Latin American, and African flavors all coming together in this delicious explosion.
Right. Imagine fresh seafood like conch and lobster,
Mm.
flavorful rice and beans, spicy stews with all these local herbs and spices, and tropical fruits bursting with flavor.
Okay, now I'm officially starving. And the music, I've heard snippets of Belizean music, and it's so vibrant, so energetic. What are some of the genres we should be listening to?
Well, Belizean music, it's as diverse as its people, really. You've got punta rock, it's super high energy, infectious rhythms, reggae, soca. And then there's traditional Garifuna drumming, really spiritual and mesmerizing. And you can find live music everywhere, beach bars, local festivals.
It sounds like Belize is a place where you can really immerse yourself in the culture, not just observe it from a distance.
Exactly. And one of the things that really stands out is the warmth and hospitality of the Belizean people.
Oh, absolutely. The videos really highlight that. Everyone seems so friendly and welcoming. Like Belizeans are genuinely happy to share their culture
Yeah.
and their love for their country.
It's the beauty of Belize. You feel like a welcomed guest, not just a tourist.
So true. Whether you're chatting with locals at a market or striking up a conversation with your taxi driver, it seems like Belizeans are eager to, share their stories, make you feel at home.
It's heartwarming. And there seems to be such a strong sense of community in Belize, too. I mean, I've seen examples of people coming together, supporting each other, whether it's through art collectives, local businesses, or conservation efforts. There's definitely a deep sense of pride in their culture. And this commitment to preserving their natural heritage, you see it in the growing ecotourism, the sustainable farming practices, and, the efforts to protect the Belize Barrier Reef from things like climate change.
It's inspiring to see people working together to, create a better future for themselves and for future generations. So we've explored this ancient history, these vibrant cultures, breathtaking nature. We even got a taste of modern Belizean life. What's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
I think the takeaway is this Belize. It's more than just a beautiful destination. It's a country with this rich and complex story, a place where ancient traditions meet modern aspirations, where these natural wonders inspire awe and respect, and where the warmth of the people just stays with you long after you've left.
Beautifully said. And for our listeners, as you delve deeper into Belize, remember those hidden caves we talked about, the portals to the underworld. Imagine venturing into one of these caves, the darkness closing in, and suddenly you stumble upon a hidden chamber, untouched for centuries.
What treasures might you find? What stories could those ancient walls tell?
That sense of discovery, the thrill of the unknown.
Yeah,
It's the spirit of Belize, isn't it?
it really is. A country waiting to be explored. Secrets to uncover at every turn.
So much more than just a place to relax on the beach.
Exactly.
It's amazing how much we've learned already, and I feel like we've just scratched the surface.
There's always more to discover, isn't there?
One thing that really struck me going through all these videos was the spirit of the Belizean people. I mean, there's a resilience, a warmth, a creativity. It's like infectious.
It really is. Take the Garifuna people, for instance.
Right.
Exiled from their homeland, they come to Belize and not only survive, they thrive. They create this vibrant, enduring culture.
And it's not just the Garifuna either. I mean, whether it's through their music, the food, or art, Belizeans have this incredible ability to blend all these diverse influences.
Right.
And they create something totally unique.
That fusion, that's really at the heart of the Belizean identity, wouldn't you say?
Totally.
They've taken these threads of their history, Mayan, African, European, and woven them into this beautiful, complex tapestry.
And it just goes to show you that history isn't just something that happened in the past, it's alive.
It shapes the present, influences the future.
Absolutely. And speaking of the future, it's really encouraging to see how Belizeans are embracing sustainability, working to protect their natural heritage.
Yeah, they really get it, don't they?
Those videos highlighted some amazing ecotourism initiatives and conservation efforts. It seems like there's a real awareness of the importance of finding that balance.
Balancing development with responsibility.
Exactly.
They understand that their natural beauty, it's a precious resource, not just for tourism, but for their own well-being, their cultural identity. And they're actively working to ensure that future generations can enjoy these wonders, the same ones that draw visitors from all over the world.
It's a powerful reminder that we can all learn from Belize's example, this respect for nature, celebrating diversity, that spirit of resilience. I mean, these are lessons that go way beyond borders, don't you think?
I completely agree. So as we wrap up our Belizean adventure,
Already.
I want to encourage everyone listening to keep exploring. Go beyond the tourist brochures.
Delve deeper.
Talk to the locals, savor the flavors, listen to the music. Immerse yourself in that Belizean spirit.
Who knows, maybe you'll uncover some hidden gem of your own.
A piece of that Belizean magic that stays with you long after you've returned home.
And with that, we wrap up our deep dive into Belize. Until next time, keep diving deeper, keep exploring, and keep those aha moments coming.